On the outskirts of a small town stood Silverwood Cemetery, a place of quiet repose for those who had passed on. But beneath its serene facade lay a dark and sinister secret, the legend of the Weeping Woman. The tale began with a young woman named Isabella, who was known for her beauty and grace. She fell deeply in love with a local farmer named Thomas, and their love story blossomed amidst the rolling fields. However, their happiness was short-lived, as Thomas was tragically killed in a farming accident. Heartbroken, Isabella visited his grave every day, her tears mingling with the earth that now held her beloved. One stormy night, Isabella disappeared without a trace. The townsfolk searched tirelessly, but she was never found. Soon after, strange occurrences began to plague Silverwood Cemetery. Visitors reported hearing the sound of a woman sobbing, and some even claimed to see a ghostly figure clad in white, wandering among the tombstones. The legend of the Weeping Woman was born. Years later, a young journalist named Emma arrived in town, intrigued by the tales of the haunted cemetery. Determined to uncover the truth, she spent countless hours researching the history of Silverwood Cemetery and interviewing the townsfolk. Armed with her findings, she decided to visit the cemetery on the anniversary of Isabella's disappearance. As Emma approached the cemetery, the wind howled, and the rain began to pour. The atmosphere was heavy with an eerie silence, broken only by the distant sound of sobbing. Emma followed the sound, her heart pounding with anticipation and fear. Near Thomas's grave, she saw the ghostly figure of a woman, her face obscured by a veil of tears. "Isabella?" Emma whispered, her voice trembling. The ghostly figure turned to face her, eyes filled with sorrow and longing. "Why do you weep?" Emma asked, her voice barely audible over the storm. "I weep for my lost love," the spirit replied, her voice an ethereal whisper. "I am bound to this place, unable to find peace. Help me, and I may finally rest." Moved by the spirit's plight, Emma set out to uncover the truth behind Thomas's death. She discovered that Thomas had been murdered by a jealous rival who coveted Isabella's love. The truth had been buried, and Isabella's spirit remained trapped by the injustice of her beloved's fate. With newfound determination, Emma exposed the truth to the townsfolk, revealing the treachery that had led to Thomas's death. The town came together to right the wrongs of the past, ensuring that justice was served. That night, as the storm subsided, Emma returned to the cemetery. The ghostly figure of Isabella appeared once more, her eyes now filled with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice carried by the wind. "I can finally find peace." With those words, Isabella's spirit faded into the night, and the sound of sobbing ceased. Silverwood Cemetery returned to its peaceful state, and the legend of the Weeping Woman became a story of redemption and justice. To this day, the townsfolk remember the tale of Isabella and Thomas, a poignant reminder of the power of love and the importance of seeking the truth. Visitors to Silverwood Cemetery often leave flowers at Thomas's grave, honoring the memory of the tragic lovers and the journalist who uncovered their story. And on quiet nights, when the wind rustles through the trees, some say they can still hear a faint whisper of gratitude, a ghostly echo of a love that transcended time.